Hi kids, I'm going to show you how to use some of the tools in Adobe Illustrator. There are a ton of things you can do in Adobe Illustrator, but we're just going to use a couple of those tools right now. One of them is the Blob Tool and the Eraser Tool. Okay, so the Blob Tool is right here. If you can't find it, it's underneath the paintbrush. Okay, and then the eraser tool is right below it. Now, you need to open up Adobe Illustrator, and then get a new file going. So go up to File, New, and let's make this file 15. So we're going to put in 15 for a width, and then 10 for a height. And then if yours is on points, let's change it to inches. Click Create, and then we have a new something to work on here. Okay, so get rid of a couple things. All right, here you go. And here's the Blob Tool. Oops, here is the Blob Tool. Basically, you draw with it, right? Almost like doodling or creating little illustrations, and it is pretty cool. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is to make the smoothing right. You see how when I draw, it's a little rough, a little jagged, but when I let go of the mouse button, it smooths it right out. And probably because of the settings, it's because of the settings I have. Since we're drawing with a mouse, double click on the tool, and then yours is probably set right in the middle. And let's go 1 over. So it's basically 3/4. And click OK. That works just right for using a mouse to draw with. All right, so we could draw whatever we want. A real crude circle. Lines, make a little sun. Now, you can change the size of the circle right here, the tool, by using the bracket keys on the keyboard. I can use the left bracket to make it smaller and the right bracket to make it bigger. And the bracket keys are right next to the P on the keyboard. Okay. All right, so you can also, besides drawing freehand, you can draw straight lines, horizontal, vertical, and 45 degrees. Let me show you how to do that, and it's very cool. So all you have to do is hold down the Shift key, hold it down first, then click and drag to the right, and it will give you a nice, perfect, straight horizontal line. And if you want to make perfectly straight vertical lines, hold down the Shift key and drag vertically. If you want to make a 45-degree perfectly straight line, hold down the Shift key and then drag about 45 degrees, and will be perfect for you. There you go. Now, another thing that you could do is make the tool nice and big. And if you just click one time, then you make a nice perfect circle, whatever size you want it to be. You can also add to what you've already drawn. So the best way to show you how that works is to go up to the View menu and click Outline. Okay, and like I can add to this. If I just click and drag, you see how it actually joined all of these lines together. That's going to be very important when we're making t-shirts. So I can go like this. I can make it a little bit bigger, whatever I want to do. I can also use the eraser tool. Okay, And the best way to show you how the eraser tool works is to go back to the view menu and click preview. And so what we can do with this is it erases. Cool, right? I can cut that right in half. I could make it a little bit bigger again with the bracket keys, and I can click right here. All right, inside, and it just cuts it right out. Let me show you what it looks like when we go to view outline. So the same thing, it just cuts out, it just knocks it out. And then it joins the lines back together. Again, this is going to be really important when we're doing artwork for our t-shirts. Okay. If I wanted to change the way this line looked, I could sort of erase it like this. Of course, it's easier, again, if you go to the preview. Okay, I can just change it. I can make it thick and thin a little bit. Okay. You can always zoom in too, and if you need to get a little closer. You're trying to get something kind of just right. Okay. You can always go backwards as well. The way you go backwards is Command Z. Command Z. You can go backwards a lot of times. Command Z. All right. Let's go back to, I'm going to hold down the Option key, and so I can make it small again. Okay, whoa, there we go. Now, when you're drawing, especially if you're going to use geometric shapes or very straight lines, you can use a couple of things, rulers, guidelines, and a grid. So for instance, you can go up to View, and then go to Rulers, Show Rulers. Okay, and it shows some rulers here. And if I go to the ruler and I click, hold down, and drag, I can pull out guidelines and put them anywhere I want if I want to use those. I can also go View, Show Grid. Okay, and that might help if you're trying to line things up or trying to draw right on a grid. If you want to know exactly where to put, if you're trying to make things look perfect, right? Oops, that didn't work. Go backwards. Okay. Right? So using a grid can be very beneficial for you. All right, let's take the grid off. Go to Hide Grid. There we go. Now, to gain confidence, I'm going to have you do three little projects so you can practice, and because it takes a while to get comfortable with this tool, but it's very cool. So what I'd like you to do then is go go up to File, New, and then make another new file that is 10 by 15. Create that. And then we're going to go up here to Window, and then we want to get the Layers palette going. Okay? And I'll show you why. We're going to use something as a template to draw from. So on the web, or on Google Classroom, I gave you a bunch of files there. And you can download those files. First one I'd like you to use is, I'll show you. You're going to go to File, Place, and then navigate to where your the files are that you downloaded, probably in your downloads. Okay, and I want you to select Space and then Place. Okay, and then I want you to just place it right like this, and then take the selection tool right there, grab a corner, hold the Shift key down so you can strain proportions and make this as big as you can on the page. Okay? Then what I'd like you to do is double click right here. Click once on template and then OK. Then go right here, click on create new layer, and now we're going to draw on this layer. And so it won't affect the layer below it, which has what we're going to draw from. And again, you probably want to zoom in and get the blob tool, make it nice and small enough, maybe about this big. Okay, and then I would like you to practice drawing. That wasn't very good, was it? Okay, whoa, I got a little crazy. Practice drawing with it. And I'd like you to just to do this, draw all of these shapes the best you can. Okay. When you get done with it, when you get done drawing all of these shapes that are on here, then I would like you to take the layer 1 and drag it into this trash. Okay. Then I would like you to go up to File, Save As, and then you're going to save it as, you're going to save this as Blob 1 and click Save. Okay, I already have one, so I would replace that. Okay, and then save it, and then you're turn that into Google Classroom. Then do the same thing, new. Open up another new file, same size. And again, I'd like you to go up to File, Place, File, Place, and then find. You can use either the Charity, the Sunshine, the Responsibility, or the Grace, whichever one you want to use. You can use one of those. Okay, put it on here. Okay, and then you're going to need to get the arrow again, and just make it a little smaller so it fits on the page. Do the same thing. Double click the layer, click on Template, OK. Create new layer, and then draw on the layer. And I'd like you to draw this whole thing. Okay. Do the same thing when you're done. Oops. I can go backwards. Command Z. Command Z. Okay. Once you get it done, again, do the same process. Take layer 1, throw it in the trash. Right? Then go File, Save As. We're going to name this Blob 2. And save it. Okay, that's Blob 2. All right, then you're going to do one more that you're going to do and turn it in, and that is create a new file, same size. And then I would like you to do one page of doodles, straight lines, curved lines, all kinds of doodles. You know, it looks something like this. Nope, it's not going to look like that. Where is it? Where is it? It's not going to look like that. Cancel. It's going to look like, well, I have it here somewhere. It will look something like this with, you know, a bunch of doodles on it. Draw different things, try different things. Okay? Make it beautiful, make it creative. And then when you're done with that, do the same thing, save as, and name this Blob 3. Okay? Blob 3, and there you go. You'll be done. Turn it into Classroom. Turn all 3 of those into Classroom.